back to my hometown. I may go through some patches that don't have great Wi-Fi, but let's talk, man. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game posts, balls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news, as well as schedules for the channel and our fantasy football league, which just drafted on Friday. Hey, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good about my fantasy team. I think I might just win this league this time, man. And the other league I'm in, the owner of that league is a Panthers fan, and he gives out a ring for the winner, and he's also giving out cash prizes now. So, I mean, I'm excited. Dude, I'm hyped. I might actually win some cash prizes this year, guys. Who knows, man? Who knows? But, yeah, I'm excited, dude. The reason you can't see me is because I'm in a car, you know, and I don't have a proper way to set my phone up to where you guys can see me. But you guys can hear me just fine, right? As long as you guys can hear me, hit that like button. Thank you so much to whoever did already. Appreciate you. Let's talk some Panthers football, shall we? We're about 5 days away, ladies and gentlemen. Are we past midnight yet? I think we're past midnight, so it's 4 days left. Wow. All right, so we're waiting on the Brian Burns contract to get done. Once the Brian Burns contract gets done, then I hopefully would encourage us to get a third quarterback. Because if we don't get a third quarterback, we're going to be really in trouble. Because Andy is not it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Andy is basically Sam Darnold 2.0. He's scared of his own shadow. It's Groundhog Day about like 3 months late. You know? And I love the dude. I would definitely have a conversation with him. I would love to, you know? But at this point, I'm a little worried that he's just not good under pressure anymore, you know? And it's a concern. It's a legitimate one. And that overlaps the Brian Burns issue. I'm sorry to say it, but for hating about the Brian Burns situation, put that on hold for a minute, because we got a serious situation here at quarterback. If we don't solve this now, we're going into the regular season, and if Bryce gets hurt in any way, we've already seen, like, how many wide receivers get hurt already? And you want to play with fire and hope that Bryce survives how many hits? You know, but they have to put Andy Dalton in, who is basically Sam Darnold 2.0. I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. I think we need a third quarterback. And, you know, if we can get this Brian Burns contract situation cleared up soon, we would be able to sign that third quarterback. And I really don't like the fact that we had to let go of Matt Corral. I don't like it. Here's the thing. I don't know how much Matt Corral's contract was offhand because I can't look at it right now. So if somebody wants to put that in chat, please do. Before we cut him, that would be helpful. Because I feel like this was a move to try to get Brian Burns extended. No one's really made that connection yet. Shout out to Lock Poppy. But yeah, I was thinking on that today. I think that might be connected. I don't like it, but I think it might be. Like, no one's put two and two together here. But that freed up money, you know, if you believe the ESPN report that we're we're looking at what, $28 million that he was asking for? I think that's the agent asking for that money. Because if you look at Nick Bosa's contract, that is greatly overinflated, by the way. Humongously overinflated. I think, I honestly do think that getting this deal done soon would benefit us humongously. I'm not going to push it, but, you know, because I believe that we're still going to play Brian Burns anyway. But at the same time, I am going to push it because we need that third quarterback. And honestly, if we're giving that much to Burns, then I think we need to go back and sign Jake. I think it's pointless to resist at this point. Sign him for pennies on the dime. Let's just get it over with. You know, you don't want to end up short, you know, by signing him before the Brian Burns contract gets done. But we do need to get him signed before that Saints game in week 2, because I think we should be okay for the Falcons game if we don't take care of it now. But I think Bryce will take care of himself during that Falcons game. It's the Saints game I'm worried about because the Saints play dirty, man. The Saints play dirty. And it's not like that year that they try to hurt us, you know, but still, at the same point, it's still a reason to be concerned. So once people see Bryce successful, they're going to want to try to injure him. They're going to try to knock him out, you know, purposely. Because if they knock him out, they know our season's over. Not so fast. If we get that third quarterback, we're in good shape. And I may not like Indy being our second stringer, but if you remember back in 2015, Derek Anderson was the best option we had on that free agent list. And when Derek Anderson was the best option we had, it was like, okay, I accept it. I don't like it, but I accept it. You know what I mean? We don't necessarily have to put him in second string, though. You can put him at third. If you believe that Jake is going to progress enough that he's not going to be scared of his own shadow and he's going to be throwing passes like he did to Jennings in the Lions game, yeah, I could see putting Andy at third spot. Despite the contract, I don't care. Let people say what they will. Because Andy, if you're going to throw fire at Andy, go for it. The dude's almost washed up. You know, skills-wise, if you're going to throw fire at him as far as who he is personally, now that's where I'm going to have to step in and defend him. Because that man deserves to be defended personally in those situations. I will not sit by and let people defamate him. I will not do it. But if you want to throw him in third spot, I think that would be wise. You know, if you sign Jake back here. Now, a lot of people don't realize we have a fourth option. I'm not going to say who it is, but I think the people that are aware of it should keep their mouth shut, because we don't want people getting that secret out there. You know what I'm saying? Keep it to yourselves. There's only 3 teams that know. There's only 3 teams that are aware of it to this point. Keep it that way. Now, my other question is, okay, why do we have 5 tight ends and only 2 quarterbacks? Why can't we toss a tight end or 2 and make room for a third quarterback? Why is that necessary? What are we doing with 5 tight ends in any one formation? Like, that's illegal. You can only use, like, how many per play? Like 2 or 3 per play legally? Isn't it? Like, maybe you might have an answer on that one. Look that one up for me, man. I'd like to know. Because I don't like us having, 5 tight ends if we're not even going to use Stephen Sullivan. What's the point of Stephen Sullivan even being there? He's a cap eater. We're wasting cap that we could put towards a quarterback in a roster spot. I mean, it's stupid. What has Stephen Sullivan done for us in the last 3 years? And much love to Stephen as a person, because I think he's a great person. But it's time for him to move on. If you're not doing anything in 3 years, it's time for you to find another place, man. And I don't know what Scott is doing there. He's in charge of this roster, but I trust him. But I got questions, bro. I got questions on that right there. How many tight ends can you legally put in one play? It's a legit question. I want to know the answer because I don't know. I've always guessed 3 legally, but I don't know. It's a solid question, isn't it, Locke? What do you think? Go in the chat. I'll read it. I'll read it. As long as you keep it short and concise, I can read it. And by the way, I just got a new car, guys. This thing's a beast. Yeah. Freaking love this thing. Now, let me turn the ear off. I want y'all to hear this. Listen to this freaking car. Yeah. Beautiful music, man. Beautiful music. And y'all don't know how good it feels to have a working air conditioning in a car. Oh my God. The amount of time that I spent in Spartanburg with no air conditioning in that last car. Shoo-wee! Oh my God. Blitzball knows, man. Blitzball was hanging with me. He knows. That sucked. Anyway, man. You gotta love that my air conditioning in my house breaks right at the same time as the air conditioning in my car. Go figure, right? Right during the middle of August. During the hottest month. Oh man, I hate August. But it is what it is. The thing that I'm excited about is the fact that Scott Fitterer literally pulled a money ball on Frank, and it was beautiful. He basically said, why am I allowing you to rotate these players? Why am I allowing this when these guys shouldn't be here? and it was beautiful. Thank you, Scott. I love you for that. I freaking love you for that. Like, you're amazing for that. Yeah. You're amazing for that. So I had my eye beams on. There we go. Still trying to figure out this car. God almighty. All right. So Scott pulls a Moneyball situation where he forces Frank to use Troy Hill by getting rid of Keith and staying with Thomas Oliver, which I was like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. That's exactly what I was asking for. Because now you have no choice. You have no choice but to use the Pro Bowl. And my question was, why was he not put into the Lions preseason game? Why was he not put in? It makes no sense. Not to test out your new $1.2 million toy that you just signed off the free agent list to solve a problem, right? It makes no sense why he was not tested. Who knows? Maybe he was over the hill. You don't know until you test him. Maybe he's worth the 1.2. Maybe he's not. We don't know until we test him. But if Scott feels like he's tested him enough in practices to cut Keith better, that we can trust Troy Hill. That tells me everything I need to know. And I've been asking for either CJ or Keith to go, this year. And I got my wish. Keith is gone. Out of the two of them, I would have chosen CJ to stay. And I got my wish. So I'm very, very pleased with that. I think we did the right thing. I think we made the right move. And you're gonna be glad you did that, Scott. You're gonna be very, very happy you did that. Because now we're not gonna be in as many situations where it feels like we're really backed up against the wall. And one of those corners would cost us the game, So we did the right thing. Michael Jordan, Cameron Irving, gone. Very, very pleased with that move. Very pleased. I love it. I think we did the right thing there. And we really put ourselves in a position where we have no kryptonites on the offensive line. Those were the only two that I could really identify as kryptonites. And now they're gone. I was hoping that we would put Deontay Brown in there in the 53 finally. After using him in the second string and the third string, respectively in training camp, and in preseason. So I'm kind of wondering why he's still sitting on the practice squad unless Scott thought he didn't measure up. I don't know. Because he was looking at the offensive line that day. You remember, guys? He was out there after the second week preseason game. So maybe he saw something he didn't like. I trust him. If that's what he thinks is the best thing to do, I trust him. I'm not going to argue with that decision at all. I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping that Deontay Brown would cut it, man, and make it and be a flex man, our third rotational man. But because we've already got Cade Mays, we got Brady Christensen rotating around. But it is what it is, you know. As far as our wide receivers are concerned, let's talk about that because that's another major issue of concern. I think if we get these guys back healthy again, we won't have anything to worry about. So I think just wait out these injuries. Let's just hope that they don't become worse because of the turf in Charlotte during week 2. But right now, I'm not as worried about it because you're still dealing with turf in Atlanta. But, you know, my thing is, like, I still don't like the turf. I'll say that. I'll keep doubling down on that until it becomes less true. Because it causes a lot of injuries. If you notice, 2 of our wide receivers have an ankle injury. There's a reason for that. It's called the turf. It's the turf monster, man. The turf monster causes a lot of ankles, foot injuries, turf toe, stuff like that. So that's a legitimate thing, you know. And being that we're doing with turf 2 weeks in a row, first 2 weeks, that's only going to multiply. So what I'm thinking is, let's just wait out these injuries. Let's try to get them back onto the field and do with what we can, you know. I'm not in a hurry to push people's injuries and have them back on the field. The only one that I really, really feel should be rushed a little bit is Austin Corbin. I'd like to see him back out there, but as soon as we can get him out there healthy. That's an important one. But wide receivers, yeah, don't force it, you know. If we can get them, we can get them. You know, if we can't, we can't. It is what the heck it is, you know. We've got enough weaponry that we should be okay. And I love that trade. The 2 7th rounders for the kick returner, man. I love that trade. Beautiful trade. If you look at the stats of this dude, oh yeah, that's another wide receiver in the room. That's another wide receiver in the room that we desperately need right now. I'm very, very pleased with that. I think, granted the situation we're in, we could use a little help at right guard, but I'm not force it right. Because like I said, you had to, if you're going to cut Cameron Irving, replace him with somebody. And I forget the guy's name that we replaced him with. Does anybody remember? Throw him in chat if you do remember. Throw the name in chat. It was some initials. It was like AJ or something like that. I forget the name. I forget what it was. Y'all probably remember better than me. Was it like JP or something like that? I don't remember. But that dude, I didn't really know much about him, to be honest. He just seemed like a third stringer to me. I was like, okay. I mean, if that's what y'all want to do. If you feel like that's the best way to go, then that's the best way to go. I just want proper protection on our line. That's what I want. Regardless of who it is, I just want proper protection. But yeah. Things are looking up with this roster, dude. They are looking up, guys and ladies. Very, very excited. Very, very excited. I don't think we have a kryptonite on this roster. I really don't. What are these truckers doing? Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. I don't appreciate y'all doing this garbage. Come on, guys. Much love to you guys as well. I can't really read the chat. Yeah, I think that might be a troll. But anyway, back to where I was talking about. Yeah, let's just wait out the wide receiver injuries, man. We'll get them back when we get them back. And we'll get them back one piece at a time, you know? Whatever it takes. You know, I feel like with Mingo and the pieces that we still have healthy right now, we should be fine. I mean, we ran that risk of people getting injured, you know, when we signed these guys. You know, it's not like we didn't know. You know? It's not like we had no idea that was going to happen. You know. It is what the heck it is. But yeah, the quarterback situation has become serious, though. If we don't solve that within the next 2 weeks, we're in trouble. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news on that, but, and I hate playing devil's advocate, but when I have to with this team, you know? And y'all need to know what could happen if that should happen. Y'all need to know how serious this issue is when we're trying to go forward. If I don't speak the truth, nobody will. Because most of these people that are streamers don't agree with what I'm talking about right now. But y'all are going to see. Y'all are going to see. I'm trying to tell you. You're going to see. Why are y'all boxing me in? Wow, y'all are buttholes. Okay, that's how we're playing this? That's really how y'all are playing this, huh? And Young Buck can't stay in his own lane either. He don't know what he's doing. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get him. No, don't get over. Don't get over. You're still there. I'd be careful with that dude, man. Oh, yeah. Okay, if you're just warning people about it, good morning. Good morning. We'll stay back. Yeah. Good morning. I second that motion. We need to stay back. Yeah. Are they really working on this highway again? Dude, y'all just got working on this last year. Why? Why is Business 85 being worked on again? Oh my God. It's the same exact area too. Whatever though. Okay. Okay. You want to get over? That's your call. All right. So the pass rush. Blitzball mentioned it. It's a legitimate thing. The pass rush is not good enough. And you are correct, Blitz. You are absolutely correct. We do have an issue there. Oh. I see. All right. But yeah, the pass rush is not good enough, man. The run stopping was good, second string, third string, fourth string. But the starters need a lot of work with that. Because that did not look good in the first 3 preseason games. I'm going to tell you that right now. We got some work to do on that. And that's not to say these guys don't have it in them. You know what I'm saying? So, once we get all that solved, I think we'll be okay. But we got to improve that pass rush. The pass rush looked like trash on all levels. It looked non-existent. And that's not a slight against anybody. That's just, we need to work on it. You know what I mean? Because I know y'all got the skills. I know you got the talent. Let's just get it done. Simple as that. You know? That's why I wanted a meeting with the D-line coach, with these defensive line players, the same week as we had that meeting with the O-line players. I wanted the D-line coach to set a precedent. You know what I mean? I wanted him to be like, oh, okay, since the O-line is doing this, we need to do this too. You know what I mean? And set a marker for ourselves. Okay, let's assess what we did. Let's assess what we still need to do. Let's assess what work still needs to be done. You know, and push forward. Let's make progress towards those goals. That's what I was hoping would happen. But kudos to Coach Campen, man. Kudos to Coach Campen. He was the first to really step in and say, we need to fix this immediately. We need an immediate meeting and not screw around. So I love that dude. That's how you know that the problem is not Scott Fitter at all. It's with the rotation of the line, which was on Frank. Okay, so let's go back to Matt Corral. Now, there's 2 ways you could play this. We know it's Frank that cut him loose. All right. And the reason we know it's Frank is because the dude had a big freaking smile on his face, big idiotic smile that Matt Rule used to have on his face every time he did something stupid in the last 2 years. Meanwhile, Scott Fitter is just doing his thing. You know what I mean? And that's how I could tell. I could read that from a mile away. It was Frank. Now, the question being here, if you want to take this in the route of money, okay, we cut Matt Corral to save a little bit of money so we could re-sign Burns, right? And extend Burns. Or we cut Corral because Frank didn't like him. And he thought the coaching staff could not coach him. Which one is it? Frank, we need an answer, buddy. Because cutting him loose for nothing is not acceptable. I know that dude is worth at least a 5th or a 6th. At least. That is unacceptable that you cut him for nothing. And everybody that's throwing Scott under the bus for this, lest you forget who put the team together in the first place. You wouldn't have all these weapons, all this talent, all these Super Bowl coaches. Scott was responsible for most of this, guys. You're welcome. When we get 10 wins down the road and a playoff spot, you're welcome. Scott says you're welcome. And at that point, I don't want to hear anybody crying about Scott Fitter wanting to be fired, needing to be fired, on the hot seat. None of this bull. None of this bull hockey. Y'all get off of Scott's back, man. Scott is not the problem here. Scott's the solution to the problem. You know how I know that? And I know all the Scott Fitter haters just left the building because they don't want to hear this. Let me tell y'all something. All the people that are Scott supporters, y'all already know this fact. The fact that I know that Scott is resurrecting this team is the fact that he got rid of Michael Jordan and Cameron Irving. Plus Thomas Samuel and Keith Taylor, all before 10 a.m. on cut day. Does that sound like a GM that doesn't care about this team to you? No, that sounds like a GM that wants to get rid of all of our problems and solve them all before 10 a.m. and say, way to go, because I freaking love you for that. You are a champion for that. So now tell me at any point where Scott is going wrong here. Tell me at any point, because I'm still not understanding your points of view here. I'll listen to you. I'll hear you all out. I want to hear y'all's takes on Scott. And any of you are invited onto my channel to talk about it. But once we get those 10 wins at a playoff spot, that's where I'm going to say, nah, enough's enough. Y'all had your fun. Y'all had your conversations. You had your takes. Now it's time to get serious because we've gotten our wins and Scott is not on the hot seat at all. He's the one responsible for our 10 wins. But for now, I'll entertain it because I want to hear what people have to say. This is entertaining for me. You got to understand. This has been a very boring 2 weeks. So, I mean, I'm just trying to understand people's points of view here. Y'all trying to throw him under the bus, and you're trying to throw Chuba Hubbard under the bus. I don't understand that one either. Please help me understand that one too. Because that baffles me too. This dude literally fixed his mistakes and put up 12th ranked numbers in the league in 2021, sorry. I had the wrong year. That is ridiculous, you know? And y'all are still going to throw him under the bus? Like, please do enlighten me as to what is going on with why you don't like him. I'd love to hear this, you know? Again, it feels like entertainment for me. You know, while we wait on the next game to happen. Because we don't have that much really topic to cover until that happens. It's basically just what it is. We already know what this team looks like. We know what we're dealing with, and I'd say this roster's rock tight. It's solid rock tight. We only have one problem, and that's quarterback and Brian Burns' contract to deal with. That's it. We deal with those two, and it's just waiting on injuries. And I have to say, I'm satisfied with that. How about you guys? I'm satisfied. How about you folks, man? Y'all satisfied with that? Just solve the quarterback issue and wait on Burns' contract to get figured out? Yeah. We don't have a weak spot on this entire roster, except for quarterback. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to say it again. We do not have a weak spot on this roster except for the quarterback spot. It's true. It's true. I don't know what we're doing with 5 tight ends, but we could be putting that money towards a third quarterback. I'd make that move today. There's no sense doing that. I'm happy with 3 tight ends. Now, if you're looking for extra blockers, I don't know what our offensive coordinator's system is, or what he's planning on doing. That's the question here. I don't know what he's planning on doing. So if there's something legitimate to where we need 4 tight ends or something like that, yeah, I'm down to have 4 tight ends, you know, if there's a reason for it. But we don't need 5. That's my question. Why do we have 5? And one of them has not been producing. That money could go towards Burns. It could go towards the third quarterback. It makes no sense to me. But okay. We're literally almost there, guys. We're almost there. The finish line is in sight. And somehow, we always, as a franchise, manage to trip right at the finish line and face plant. I don't understand it. We always do something incredibly stupid every year. I thought it was going to be in the cuts, but no. This was after cut day that Matt Corral was gone. That's the one stupid thing that I'm frustrated with right now. Everything else, rock solid. Rock solid 100%. We are ready for the season. We just need one quarterback and we're solid. Finish out Burns' contract. That could take as long as it needs to. As long as we get the money for both. That's how I put it. That's how I see it, guys. I don't know about you. That's how I look at it. tell me about this new offensive coordinator. Tell me what his system is, because I'm a little unfamiliar with what we're doing with here. It's a little bit unfamiliar territory. Go to chat if you want. I'll read it. I'm not even going fast on the highway right now. I'll read it. Promise I'll read it. I got another 40 minutes, man. But yeah, Frank frustrated me with the reordering of the depth chart. I did not like that. That was not acceptable to me. If we do that in the regular season, we're in trouble. I'm just being real with y'all. The thing is, like, there's no amount of reordering that he can do to where he can really screw us up too bad now. Because we just got rid of the dangling carrot, you know? We got rid of the 2 dangling carrots on the O-line. We got rid of the dead carrot in the corner room. So there's nothing more he can do to screw us up in those areas anymore. Scott's just like, okay, what else do you want to do? Frank says, I'm going to get rid of Matt Corral. It's like, wait, what? No. Yes. He's gone today. It's like, why? Because I said so. And this is another example of people manipulating Scott. 75%. Why I say this is, here's the example. 75% of what Scott has created here, he's done by himself. The other 25, he's been manipulated into it. Okay, take for example the Mingo pick. That was Steve Smith, right? That chose that pick. He didn't choose it. He didn't choose it. No. He asked Steve Smith to pick it. He straight up asked Steve Smith to pick make that choice for him. Alright, so example number 2. Ajaro. Ajaro got his pick with DJ Johnson. Okay, so let's talk about last year, where Matt Rule manipulated him into like at least 3 garbage picks in the draft. At least 3. Come on, man. How are you going to let Matt Rule manipulate you? How are you going to let him do that to you? That frustrates me to no end. And see, this is exactly what I'm telling you. Scott Fitter is manipulative. He's a puppet at times. And that can be either good or bad, depending on how you use that puppet. You know, if you're using that puppet to scare people, like Goosebumps Slappy, then that's a bad thing. And that's what happened during the Matt Rule era. But if you're using it to entertain the kids and be like, oh, hey, yeah, you know, like Jeff Dunham does, and it's actually funny, and it's helpful, and it's mentally stimulating, yeah, that's a good thing. So, that's how I look at it. If you're going to manipulate Scott, do it the right way. Because if you do it the right way, we get the roster that we have now. And we have a lot of leaders on this team that know what they're doing and have Super Bowl rings. So you're manipulating the correct way. Look at the roster we've got. if you're twisting him and turning him that way by pulling the strings the right way, yeah, we're going to have a 10-win season. And we just got rid of the last few pieces of kryptonite that we ever had on this roster on cut day. I'm pleased. I couldn't be more pleased. Like, this is the best roster we've ever come up with in Panthers history. I'm saying it. I am bold-faced saying it. If anybody has anything to contend that, argue that matter with, let's do a stream on it. I'll hear you out. But right now, I'm saying it. I'm outright saying it. Moon. If we fix that quarterback room, I'm saying it to the moon. I will shout it out to the moon because I am doggone proud of what we created in Carolina. Now we got to go out there and win with it. It's time to come up with a bold statement, guys. Bold statement. And that bold statement is 2-0. We get that third quarterback, we get Burns' contract situation figured out. Let's go make our statement. Let's go show them that we're back. And we're out for blood, That's what I want to see. I want to see a team full of predators come out on Sunday afternoon, man. That's what I want to see. I want to see the chips on these guys' shoulders, man. I want to feel that energy when we start that kickoff. Because it's time, y'all. It's time. They have denied us for way too long. They have chopped us down. They have pushed us around. They have bullied us in our own division. And we've had enough. It's time. This division is not what it used to be anymore. It is time that people understand that we can take it back. And we will command it. One way or another, we will command it. Shout out to Vietnam. That's a long message. I'll read that in a little bit here. But much love to you for coming through here, man. But yeah. I do think that the Matt Corral cut was due to money. And I'm throwing a wrench in the system here that no one else has thought of. Because I think it matters, guys. Because if you're trying to close out Brian Burns, those extra $2 or $3 million might make a difference. Considering the offer that he got, of like, $28 million that he was asking for? I don't know what Scott's number is, but, the extra $1 or $2 million might make a difference that Matt Corral is worth. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm reaching. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is here with Brian Burns. I really don't. To a certain degree, I don't blame him for holding out. But also, I'd like to see him practice as well because his focus is on the team and he does want to see us win and he does want to play. So, I mean, we could argue that one to death. But I think after watching Nick Bosa come out with that contract, and sure, you want to test the market, you want to see what defensive ends are worth. Fair enough. I don't see any issue with that. At the same time, you don't want to wait too long either. So here comes Brian Burns' agent, asking for more than he's probably worth. And that's what I'm worried about, because I think the agent is driving the car here. While I'm driving a car, pun intended. You know, I think the agent is driving the car here. And the thing is, when Brian Burns takes that back seat, I just don't want to see it become the Josh Norman situation again. Because that was bad. That was horrible. And for those that aren't aware of what happened with the Josh Norman situation and are kind of new to that, yeah, Josh Norman's agent definitely drove the car off the cliff. And we never got him signed again. So he asked for too much. Gettleman was not willing to provide. And we all know that Gettleman was cheap. So he was trying to save money. So those two ended up butting heads fiercely. And Josh Norman was just sitting there like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I don't want to see Brian Burns end up in that shape, man, in that situation. And that's no fault of Brian's, you know, if that is what the case is. But if Brian is involved in this and he is partially driving the car here, you know, again, pun intended, then he should have an equal say in what that number should be. So my question here is Brian, it's closed door meetings, you know? So, I mean, I would like to say that I know the answer to this, but I don't, you know? Because we don't have all the facts. We don't have all the information that we could use, you know, to properly decide, you know, is this situation A, is it situation B, or is it situation C? We don't know. So, or to throw another wrench in the matter, is Scott Fitterer being cheap, you know, and undercutting? Which I don't think he's doing that, because if you look at the other contracts that he's put up, I don't think that's happening. So, to me, I think Scott's got a number in mind because he wants to get this done, but he also wants to make sure that we have enough to take care of whatever else we need, you know, such as a third quarterback and putting money away from next year. So there's all sorts of ways you could go with this and let the theories fly, you know. As far as I'm concerned, it's cleared up. We still have to deal with the quarterback room. And yeah, people are still saying, oh, we have a backup quarterback, it's Andy. Okay, what if Andy is not what you think he is anymore? What if he isn't? What if he is not what you think he is anymore? And I mean, take those two series in the Lions game as proof. Because what I've been seeing all training camp and all preseason from him, I'm worried, dude. No one's more concerned about Andy than I am right now. And I love the dude, man. I love Andy. I don't want to see him suffer, man. I don't want to see him become Sam Darnold number 2. I really don't. But if he is, he is. You know what I mean? The fact is, what the heck it is. I mean, what do you want to do here? What is the plan here? If he does end up being what I think he is. And I'm trying to see both sides of this. I'm trying to say, okay, well, if he is what you think he is, then yeah, okay, let's have Andy as a backup. I'm okay with that. Just sign a third quarterback and we're good. Just sign Jake Lutz and we're good, dude. Because I see some potential in this dude. But if you don't see that in Andy, like I don't see it, then we got a concern here. You know, we got a legit concern. And I think this whole Brian Burns contract thing is hiding that situation. I don't like saying it, but I think it's true. We're covering up that issue by having everybody focus on Burns. Which, I mean, from a news standpoint, outside looking in factor is a good thing. Because they're not looking at our quarterback situation right now. They're not seeing the weakness. They're not seeing the problem. But if you're looking from an inside-out perspective and you're not as focused on the Brian Burns situation, you're not letting it distract you, then that's when it shows up. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't pretty. So long as those questions still exist, we got an issue, guys. I don't like it. Okay. I'll read that comment from Vietnam. Backland Park. I don't want to do that right now because that's kind of a long statement, but he made a bold claim here. I did see part of it. I did read part of it. And it's a very interesting claim. But yeah, the other thing we're hiding is definitely the pass rush not being effective enough. Bliss is correct. He pointed that out during his video, and he's correct. Now, the run stopping's good, but do we move people up? What do we do here? What's the solution here? And I got questions on that because I don't know. I'm in kind of that gray area. Like, I don't really want to move people up, you know, if I'm Scott. But at the same time, like, after spending all that millions of dollars on those starters, but at the same time, you got to go, well, these guys are better. So, I mean, what are we doing here? What decision are we making here? We got to make some kind of decision. Because we can't go into Atlanta pass rushing Mariota and just say, oh, well, yeah, maybe this will work, maybe it won't, but we're just going to ride it out anyway. You know, if our starters have that same pass rush mentality that they had in preseason, we're in trouble. I'm telling y'all that right now. Because we cannot accept that. That's mediocre effort. And what is the 3-4 supposed to be for? Pass rushing, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's supposed to be pass rushing. When you put 4 or 5 people on the line, you expect to get a stronger pass rush, right? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Depends on who you put on that line. If you put mediocre players on that line, they're not going to get it done. Okay, so there's a couple of those players on that line, on that starting D-line, that I actually do think are really, really good. You know, you got Derek Brown. You know, you got Brian Burns. You know, you've got Justin Houston now. So, I mean, I don't see any reason why we can't get a solid pass rush from the starters. Like, there shouldn't be an excuse, you know, why that's not working. So, like I said, we we paid millions of dollars and these guys are solid guys, why are we still sitting here with no pass rush? Still sitting here with no pass rush. It doesn't look good. Does it now? You know, when you put it in perspective now, no one's looking at this. I did not hear one word about the pass rush the entire 2 weeks that I've been watching people's streams. And I'm a little concerned about that. Maybe I missed it in people's streams, but I didn't see it. I'm going to be real with y'all. Maybe y'all talked about it and I just missed it. I don't know. But it's a legit concern. You pay... How much is the D-line worth as a whole? You know, not counting Burns' contract right now because it's not complete. How much is that whole D-line contract worth altogether? Because it's bound to be a lot of money. I can't put a number on it right now. I'd have to be looking at over the cap to be able to tell you. But that's some scary stuff. Because if these guys can't get the pass rush done that you're looking for, why are we paying these guys that much amount of money? Why are we indulging a $28 million contract for Brian Burns, you know, when it should be what 23 or something like that, you know, because that's actually what he's worth. Screw the other contract that was signed earlier this week, you know. If you don't think Brian Burns is worth that much, let's have a conversation about it, you know. Okay, so he just this past year broke double digits. Let's talk about his actual worth. Now, need I remind people, trading week at the trading deadline, 2 number 1 picks in both of these trade offers. 2 number 1 picks. People are so quick to forget that. Also, keep in mind that we could have put Brian Burns in that Bears trade to get Bryce Young. So, again, people are very, very quick to forget that. That's 3 trade offers that we neglected to put Brian Burns in. At this point, we have to sign him. We have no choice. We have to sign him. We cannot let this man walk for bread and butter. We cannot let him walk. I refuse to let that man walk after doing all that. Now we do what we have to do to make this work. We do what we have to. So we don't need not a quarterback, but 2 times. So when you cut Matt Corral, does that say that sends a message? First of all, if you want to go down the road of sending messages, what does that do for us? What does that really do for us? Does that say, okay, well, Matt Corral is not as coachable as people think? Does that say Matt is traded for money? Does that say, you know, that we need it for Brian Burns? Does that say instead that we don't trust our coaching staff? Or does that say that Frank is a bumbling idiot and shouldn't be coaching these guys in the first place? And which one does that send a message to? Pick one, because we got to pick one here. And I don't want to I don't want to pick any of them. I'm with y'all. I don't want to pick any of those options. But one of them has to be the reason. And I don't want to throw Frank under the bus, but at this point, it is Frank. You know, it's 100% Frank. Tell me that wasn't Frank. When you go look at that freaking press conference picture, goofy looking face, tell me it wasn't him. Tell me it wasn't him. And don't lie. Don't lie. Y'all are pretty good judges of character, right? Y'all want to judge on character, y'all want to judge on personalities. Judge by that picture. And then come back to me. Judge by that picture. And judge by that picture of Scott Fitterer as well. Compare the two. Now go back and look at Matt Rule's goofy looking face. Back when he made stupid decisions. Tell me that wasn't Frank. Please tell me that wasn't Frank. I didn't want to believe it at first either. But I knew it had to be somebody in that front office. And I knew it wasn't Scott. You know how I know it's not Scott? Because Scott's been manipulated several times before. That's how I know it wasn't Scott. That man was happier than I have seen him all year in that picture, Frank. I haven't seen him smile that big all year. He finally got what he wanted. He finally got to put a gigantic wrench in the system. That's exactly what he did. Now, y'all tell me I'm wrong. Y'all tell me I'm wrong, man. He got his way. Prove me wrong. Because at this point you can't. I don't think there's a single take that could possibly convince me, but you guys are welcome to try. You're welcome to try. I'll allow it, you know, because I find it entertaining, really. But y'all better get off of Scott's nuts, man. Y'all better get off his nuts. Because that man is not the reason that everything has gone to heck. Y'all need to get off his nuts. Scott is the reason we have this roster right now. You're welcome. And a few of those things he's been listening to me on, because I can promise you some of these moves are not coincidental. Because nobody mentioned Troy Hill before I mentioned it. Nobody mentioned, you know, trying to give Deontay Brown more reps before I did. You know, nobody said, okay, let's go get Andy Dalton before I did. So the reason we have Andy, you're welcome, again, is because I suggested it. And our channel suggested it. Everybody gets credit on this channel because all of you suggested it. It's not just me. It's not just me representing here. Okay? I'm just a man on a camera and on a mic. I'm voicing y'all's opinions and y'all's thoughts. And we all happen to be on the same page in a lot of different circumstances. Do we agree all the time? No. But are we trying to get on the same page with each other? Absolutely. So that's why I could say confidently, this wasn't just my suggestion. It was everybody's here. They didn't have to take that suggestion. They did though. So Tell me one streamer that mentioned Troy Hill before I did. Tell me one. Because at this point, nobody did. I solved our quarterback problem. You're welcome. Scott listened to it. He took my advice. Thank you, Scott. You made a wise decision. And I'm telling you, you will not regret it. I mean, it was the most obvious one. I couldn't find a more obvious one. So Frank got frustrated because he couldn't have his little way, and he said, "Oh well, I don't want to get in your own lane, bud. Get in your lane. What are you doing right now? Oh man, get in your lane. God, freaking truckers." Some of y'all truckers are awesome, though. I give y'all your respect. But some of y'all need some freaking Red Bull at night, man. Real talk. Because y'all be drifting the lanes and y'all doing all this nonsense, man. Pay attention, bro. There's drivers out here. It ain't just you on the road. Anyway, man. Like I was saying, I honestly believe that we're really set up for success here. As long as we stay on the track. We got to get the quarterback room figured out. We got to get Brian Burns' contract figured out, and we got to get the pass rush done. We get those three things done. I think we're fine. I think we are perfectly fine. Let the wide receivers' injuries, go through their motions, and we'll have them back before you know it. It'll take time. It'll be frustrating, to wait on these guys to come back. I know. But once we have them back, imagine the weaponry Bryce is about to have. Think about it. When these guys come back, think about this weaponry. I mean, just disgusting weaponry, dude. As long as we protect Bryce, oh yeah, this offense is going to be explosive. No doubt about it. I've seen some crazy stuff, man. And I understand why people are frustrated. I do. But we have a lot to look forward to. There's so much upside for us to look forward to, guys. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm excited. I'm ready. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for Sunday, man. I'm ready for us to come out of the gate swinging, man. I'm ready. It's time to send a message, man, to the Falcons. They've been sitting on their perch too long, man. It's time. These Falcon fans have been talking too much trash for too long, man. It's time. Let's show the dirty birds what a predator looks like in the jungle, man. Let's show them what it looks like. Because I've been watching a few people's streams and we had some Falcons fans that were just like, oh yeah, the Panthers are going to lose to the Falcons like always. The typical trash talk. And I'm like, okay. Y'all talk your trash. Talk your trash. Because on Sunday, we're going to find out. Y'all about to find out real quick. This is not a team to be trifled with. And this weaponry is for real. Even if it is for real. Y'all want to find out firsthand? Let's go. I'm ready. We better wait to smackdown on y'all, man. I'm ready. Bring on them dirty birds, baby. They ain't ready for this. As long as our secondary holds, I think at first our pass rush won't be that much of a problem. But I think we do need to address it. We have to do something about it. You know? But for now, I think I'm okay with sitting on it through the Falcons game. And let's just see what we've got. You know? I think maybe I'm jumping the gun on the pass rush thing. But I mean, I'm not the only one that noticed it. So Blitzball did too. So, and a few others noticed it too. But, you know, we've been kind of keeping quiet about that issue because, you know, we're trying to keep it hush-hush because we got Brian Burns' contract going on. But if we get the Brian Burns contract situation figured out, I say we're golden delicious apples because we can start moving and getting that third quarterback. If you believe in Andy Dalton, let's just get a third quarterback anyway. Because we've had so many injuries with quarterbacks over the past 7 to 8 years. Like, name me a healthy quarterback that has been on this roster, you know, before 2021. Name me a healthy one. I mean, it's gotten to that point, y'all. I don't want to be that guy, but it has gotten to that point. And, you know, I'm trying to be respectful. I'm trying to be kind, you know, to everybody that has a different opinion on that. But we're sitting here just going, is this a problem or isn't it? You know? Is this a problem or isn't it? Is Andy Dalton washed up or is he not? Because we cannot go into the regular season with him washed up. If he happens to be washed up. Right or wrong. You got to play devil's advocate with every situation with this team. Otherwise, you're going to be under a bridge when you come to a situation that you can't do anything about later on. And then you're screwed. How many times have we run into that, folks? I, for one, am tired of running into those situations, and I want an answer. I want answers. I want solutions to those problems before they pop up. I'm tired of waiting for these situations to pop up and then going, oh, hey, if only we had fixed this like 6 weeks ago. No. How about we fixed it 6 weeks ago? You know? How about we solve these problems 6 weeks ago when they were supposed to be solved? That way we don't have to sit here and wonder what our next point of action is in a bad situation. So, you know, that's why I'm pointing this stuff out early. I'm not wasting any time. I'm getting serious, y'all, because this is a serious year. We're trying to get 10 wins. We're trying to get to the playoffs for the first time in, 7 years? This is serious. You know, I'm done playing around. We put together this mammoth roster for a reason. And I'm ready to see it take off like a rocket and explode. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to come out of the gate prowling, y'all. Prowling. And becoming the predator. We've done this for too long, y'all. We've sat there and become the prey for too long. Vietnam says, my bold statement for this week is that our offense will be the strength of this team and propel us to victory in week 1. I actually agree with that. That's a great bold statement, and he's correct. He is absolutely correct. I finally got a chance to read that message. I'm sorry, Vietnam, that it took me so long. I was driving, buddy. But it was kind of a long message. But he's right. Our offense will be our strength if we allow it to. Yeah, we don't have as many wide receivers as we'd like to coming out of the gate. But how many times has that happened to us, where we haven't been at full strength going into Atlanta or the Saints, and we've had to make do in certain areas, right? Well, here we are again. We're having to make do, right? My point being, we've done this so many times that it's like clockwork to us now, And I hate saying that, but it is what the heck it is. So, anyway, that's my thought process right now. I'm about to walk into my house, but hey, guys, it's been great talking to y'all. I think we made the correct decisions with this roster. I love it. I think it's a mammoth roster. I think there's no kryptonite in it. And we just have Andy Dalton that's questionable right now. Is he who he used to be, or is he a Sam Darnold protege? 2.0. That's really the only main question I've got going into this first game. And how will they use Troy Hill? Will our pass rush get better? And also, can our offensive line protect Bryce? Those are the only questions I've got going into week 1. Yeah, they're legitimate ones, but at the same time, they're not ones to panic about. You know what I'm saying? I think we're in a really, really good spot. So, let's go in there. Let's send a message to the Falcons. Let's go get a dub. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to add? Shout out to Luck Poppy. Shout out to Vietnam. And and shout out to everybody that hit that like button. Appreciate y'all. If you didn't, go hit that like button on your way out. Shows your support, it shows your love for this channel. If you haven't done so already, go check out the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game posts, polls, opinions, and reactions to NFL news if you haven't done so already. Go check that out, guys. But shout out to all the people showing love to this channel, man. I love y'all too. Man, God bless y'all, man. Y'all are incredible human beings. And even if you don't believe in God, be blessed, man. Be blessed anyway. Because and have an awesome day. If you don't believe in all that. Have an awesome day. And I think my saying applies to everybody in the same way. No matter what you believe, no matter what your thought processes are, no matter what your opinions are, I think this applies to everybody. Stay happy, healthy, and well. That sound about right to y'all, man? I love y'all, man. This channel is my baby, man. I appreciate everything that everybody has done to put all these contributions in. And, I've shown love to everybody, man. Just as much as y'all have shown love to me. So, no matter what you do, no matter what your role is, thank you. Thank you so much. You're a blessing to us. And you're a gift to what we do. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Stay happy, healthy, and well. Keep pounding. Can't wait. There will be a stream on Sunday for the game reaction. I'm going to do a stream on Saturday night. Be looking for that Saturday night to prepare us for the game on Sunday. All right, so back to regular scheduled programming, all right? We're going back to the regular schedule. There won't be any of that horse hockey that we did in preseason there. We're going back to the regular schedule. All right, so stream on Saturday night. See you guys there. If there's anything else you guys want to throw in chat real quick, I'll read it. But otherwise, I gotta get situated and get some sleep, man, because it's late. But thank you so much for your support. And anybody that wants to jump on the stream on Saturday night and kind of express their concerns or opinions on the things that I've been stating, either on Facebook or on YouTube today, please do. And I welcome it. I'm going to have Zoom open for you guys. And we're going to do this the old-fashioned way, But, yeah, thank you so much for the support. Really means everything to me. And what we built is special, guys. Let's keep it going. Hit that like button on the way out. Keep pounding, y'all.